In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 prepping gadgets you're going to want to know about. Now, these are not gadgets as in just extra gimmicky items. They're actually going to add some multifunctionality and layers of protection to your kit. More is not better. We all acknowledge that, right? But if you're going to filter through and find the right kind of items for the situations that could come, you want to look for that multifunctionality, that extra layer protection. These items add that. And there's actually a couple of items in the list you may have never even heard of before, but once you see them, you're going to realize, wow, these are essential items. All of that is coming up. All right, guys, so when it comes to prepping, we need to have a lot of different kinds of situations in mind as we're preparing. And there's that multifunctionality. There's that extra layer protection we've got to be thinking about. And so in this video, we're talking about essential survival gadgets that you didn't know that you needed, right? And so we're going to look at what those items can be. And we're going to do, as we always do, learn from the Reddit threads. And so there are all of these different preppers that are on the survival Reddit threads and other prepper threads. And in these subreddits, we filter through all the information. We have no lack of information in this era, right? But we need to find the wisdom in the midst of that. So we look for trends. Here are some trends that we found in this particular thread on what's an underrated piece of equipment to have in your survival gear. Some trends that we found. All right, so here are those top trends. They brought to the light, and there's a lot of different comments on this thread, unique items, but compact tools really got some of the highest mentions. We want to have compactness to our preps, and as we're looking for those unique items, they need to have compactness and definitely a multi-purpose functionality. There was an emphasis on fire starting gear, some others you can see right there. But as we talk about this today, we want to look for those items that meet some of these qualifications as we're adding extra items to our gear kit that we might not have thought about. They're going to need to be compact. They're going to need to have that multi-purpose functionality. And so let's look at those 7 items together that you may even be surprised that some of these are on the list. Okay, so number 1 is the pocket chainsaw. That's what it's called. Pocket chainsaw. And this one comes from walmart.com. So really pretty cool. So this item, whether you've seen this before or not, is a handheld chainsaw, believe it or not, that you can actually put into your gear. You can pocket it, and it allows you to tackle some common challenges that you're going to find in a survival situation. And so whether it's cutting down branches, small trees, it's going to help you to clear paths or gather firewood. It's really helpful because it's lightweight, it's portable, so it meets those needs, so you can actually be on the go, but it also helps you process wood in building shelters, in fires and emergencies, and it's not going to take up too much space in your pack. Not only that, but at $12.99, why would you not consider adding a pocket chainsaw if you haven't already to your kit? Okay, so that is number 1. Number 2 is a UV water purifier. And so this one is on outdoorxl.com. And what is a UV water purifier? So it uses ultraviolet light to kill harmful microorganisms. And so this can be super helpful, right? So that as you can do what you see here on the screen, use this item, put it into some water. It's a reliable way to purify drinking water and give you that essential item. Water at the end of the day is the item you've got to have, right? When it comes to your kit, you've got to have water and you've got to have clean water. And so this gives you, like it even says here on this, if you're traveling to locations with questionable water quality and not wanting to take along a bunch of things that are purifying, you're going to run out of some items. This is going to continue to work over time. You're not going to have to replace any parts or replace filters. You can use it anywhere. You can use it on the go, including in restaurants, hotels, all of those kinds of situations. So something to consider. It's worth a consideration in your kit. All right, let's look at the next one. So the next one is that survival whistle. So survival whistles are really helpful because they are multifunctional most of the time. So this one has both a compass as a part of it. Oftentimes they'll have like a storage compartment, or sometimes they'll even include a fire starter. And each of these features is helpful because they're compact, multifunctional, and then of course the fire whistle component, or the emergency survival whistle component of that, allows you to be able to get help in a survival situation. And then also, look at this, multifunctional with a magnifying glass and several other components in it, a little storage bin in it. It can be super helpful as a versatile, multifunctional tool that combines navigation, fire starting, and signaling capabilities into one compact form. So that's number 3. All right, let's take a look at number 4, which is a solar power bank charger, hand crank. And so these items are so crucial and so key to be able to have that ability to not only have power on the go, but be able to get that power through the sun, right? And so it works simply by cranking the hand crank that you can see there. Let's go back to that picture. It's cranking that hand crank right there. Then through your power, you can ensure that as long as you're able to crank that crank, you're going to have the power that you need. And so it gives you access to power regardless of the conditions and allows you to have the charge on your essential devices, especially in being able to stay connected. Okay, so that is number 4. Let's look at number 5. Okay, number 5, similar to that one, is the AM/FM NOAA weather band emergency radio. This one is about $60, and it allows us to be able to tune in and get weather alerts. So when it comes to a survival situation, you want to, if there is still a grid up and you can actually get information about the weather, it's really helpful to have access to that. And you may not be able to use like a phone, which you may not be able to use, have access to a phone. It's either dead or it's not connected, or for whatever reason the towers are down. Having a backup way to get that is a solar powered weather band emergency radio can be super helpful, and it provides life-saving weather alerts, critical information during disasters, and ensures that you're prepared for any kind of changing condition that may come at you. Different colors involved here that you can get. I'll click over to that one so you can see the pop-up the piece of it that's solar, so that you can actually power it by the sun. Super helpful, right? All right, let's look at the next one. So the next one is a bivy. And if you haven't heard of this, this is a super helpful way to be lightweight and stay warm in a survival situation. That, believe it or not, is a sleeping bag. And this is tiny. So let's look over here at the size of this thing. That's in his hand right there. So just in this tiny little bag, and it's obviously not going to be very comfortable, but in a situation where all you need is to stay warm, it keeps you warm, it keeps you sheltered when you're faced with unexpected conditions, and significantly can improve your chances of survival, especially in a challenging weather situation. So a bivy, if you haven't heard of it, is totally worth the $19.97. $20 to get this emergency item, and it's not actually a gimmick. This is actually adds multifunctionality to your kit. You may already have that sleeping bag, but the bivy can actually increase the heat, your ability to keep warm and to keep heat in a survival situation. All right, so let's look at number 7, which is the fire starting keychain. So just like it sounds like, the fire starting keychain is a really helpful, simple way at $10 to be able to start a fire on the go from the keys that are in your pocket. And so it's a really helpful, let's look at some of the pictures here. So here's the size of it, but as you go to use this item, very simply, you unscrew the matchstick from it. That's a metal matchstick, scrape down along the flint, and then the spark ignites, and that can help to start a fire in any situation. So what I love about this item is how compact it is, how cheap it is for the price, right? And it provides a dependable, portable way to start fires in any weather, essential for warmth and for cooking. So I think each of these items that I've shared with you today are helpful in different ways to make sure that you are prepared. They're not just gadgets, they actually add multifunctionality and layers of protection. So you may already have some of these items in some way to start a fire, but having something on a keychain, that adds a layer of protection so that if you don't have access to that or you're out and about, you can have right at your fingertips that extra layer of protection and multifunctionality. So if you are considering through what should you be getting for your kit, there's actually a lot of answers to that question, whether it's, should I get the item for the next few weeks? Is it for the next few months or the next few years? What layer of prepping am I thinking through? And so if you have not already, check out our SHTF Essential Guide, I'll link in the description below, so that you can actually take a look and see what level of preparedness am I already at, and what is my next level? What do I need to begin to think about for, if I've got 3 weeks, how do I begin to think about 3 months? How do I begin to think about 3 years so that I'm prepared for any situation that may come as that survival situation may play out over time? If you've got a gadget that you've been using that we did not include in this video, include that in the comments. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so that it tells us, hey, I want more content like this. We'll keep creating more content like this and help you to be prepared, to be on top of things, and we'll see you guys on the next video.